Blackboard allows you to write math in your discussions. To start, click Create Thread. You'll have this editor box show up. If this full box doesn't show up, it may look just like this. You can expand by hitting these two arrows that says Show More, and that will give you the full editing capabilities. The equation editor is this button that says FX next to the mashups button. So you click here, and it will open up a new window which you can use to enter math. So you have all of your options here. You can do fractions, square roots. If you have like a cubed root, you can use this button. This is for exponents. This is for subscripts, parentheses, brackets, absolute values, which is listed as vertical bars. Braces, you have the normal symbols here, greater than, less than or equal to, infinity, pi. There are more options if you click here, so you just go to the Symbols tab, and you can see that you have more symbols available to you. The tab to the right has arrows, so if you want to have arrows, you can use that. Next one are Greek letters. We have matrices, or if you have systems of equations, you can use these symbols. We have more scripts buttons. It's basically an expanded version of what the first tab has with the fractions, exponents, and so on. Parentheses, absolute values again, if you have things on top of your symbols that you want, or if you want to box your answer. If you need to do sums, the notation's right here. We have limits, so if you're in calculus, you may want to use integrals. You may want to do derivatives. This is a partial derivative. Those are slightly different symbols, so you can see the difference between those. Limits, you have your sine and cosine, all of these symbols. The best way to use this equation editor is to type up what you want here. So if I'm just going to have an equation, 2x plus 5 equals 10. And then when you're solving, hit enter. So, and do each step on a new line. So we would subtract 5 from both sides. So if you want, you can just hit the space bar so you can line up and show your minus 5s, hit enter, and then we have 2x equals 5. And then dividing by 2 both sides, you can just skip and write x equals. And when we divide by 2, we get 5 over 2. And you hit accept, and then it pops up here. If you made a mistake, you can right-click on it, and then it says Edit Equation. And so that allows you to go up and make any changes. You don't want to write any math or any words in here, because if you do that, it will cause problems. So if I type some sentences here and make them really long, and I'm just going to, you can see how that's going long. What happens is you hit accept, and it will show up here. So if we hit submit, oh, I need to put a subject here. And so I'm going to click to view it. And so it shows pretty long, but if I made it even longer, so I haven't made it long enough here, so I'm going to right-click, edit equation, and just make it even longer and longer, because it doesn't have word wrap, so it'll make everything in one line, and I hit accept. It makes it really tiny because it's trying to fit it all in one line. So if you're going to type any words, don't do them in the equation editor. You can type your words outside of it, and then if you need a new equation, you can just type the equation editor, and then you can make a new one. So then we can say x equals 4. So anything that's actually doing words, do it outside, because otherwise it doesn't word wrap, and it's going to make it really small and very hard to read. So if I hit submit, and then you can see it's much smaller than it was, and then you can see that the normal size is right here. So that's it. That's how you can add math to your discussions.